Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about Season 4, Episode 16, title You Call It Madness, But I Call It Love. Air date May 2nd, 2007. And the synopsis is:
It will be an unforgettable prom at Tree Hill High when Lucas discovers who was in the hallway when Keith was killed. Meanwhile, Peyton's decision to skip prom leads to dire consequences. Nathan and Haley vow to be romantic teenagers at prom, while Dan tries to win Karen's affection as a witness to his murder closes in.
I did not like the writers for Lucas.
Oh, about him not going inside the house?
Yes! Like, what?
Yeah, because apparently, Brooke knew about the key, but he didn't, so.
It's not even that. It's, it was when he was like, he goes to the door, and then it was like, oh, I mean, did he even knock?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, he knocked a little bit and then rang the doorbell a little bit, but yeah, I didn't think he really tried
Walk
too
away?
hard.
Then he walks away and says, I tried. Like, yes, she don't want to go. And I'm like,
yeah, and he did call, but yeah. But it seemed like he did that all like in a minute and then left. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm like, I don't like the writers because all 3 seasons, if this would have been in all the other 3 seasons, Lucas would have went in. But all of a sudden, now that they're dating, he's not going to go in.
Right.
Like, what? Like, he loves her even more because they're together. And he's not going to go in.
Yeah, I guess they just wanted this episode to be like a Brooke and Peyton, like, making up, like, plot line that, like, she was the one that knew where the key was because she has known Peyton that long. She knows, like, her house, so she can go in and figure out where she was and everything, so.
Yeah, I think the writers wanted it a makeup.
Yeah.
For Brooke and Peyton, but it didn't do Lucas justice, and it didn't do Lucas anything because it made Lucas terrible to me.
Yeah.
And he's always saving her. So wouldn't it have been better if Lucas and Brooke would have teamed up?
Yeah.
Because then it would have been like all of them are good now. Which is what needs to happen because they were the love triangle. So I feel like they are the ones that need to make up, all of them.
Right. And I think part of it too was like showing Peyton that, she, with Brooke's help, can save herself now. Maybe. I don't know.
But it's hard when all the other seasons it's been Lucas saves Peyton. What?
Yeah, maybe this one, so they just want it to be different.
They couldn't have had it where, like, oh, something happens to Lucas and he couldn't get there. So Brooke goes and is the hero. Like, it could have been written that way.
Yeah.
Like, his car breaks down and there's no way but walking, but he's, like, far away. So Brooke saves the day. Like, not this. Because him going up to the door and then walking away makes no sense.
Right.
That's not a Scott move. And I'm saying for any of the Scotts, they don't do that. So I'm like, I don't understand why the writers were like, let's screw Lucas. So yeah, for Lucas and his storyline with Peyton, I did not like.
Right.
Because again, I mean, think about it. If that's your boyfriend, you're gonna break up with them. Like, you don't love me enough to go check on me.
Yeah, he was at the prom for a long time, sitting there.
And here's the thing too. Like, he said, like, oh, like, he walks away because, like, she didn't want to go. I don't care if I don't want to go. Go ahead and check and see, and make sure she doesn't want to go. Like,
yeah.
It could have been easy. Like, I mean, go in, see if she wants to go. She's, in her sweats and she don't want to go. Well, then that's your answer. But to just not check on her,
right,
doesn't make any sense for Lucas.
Yeah,
just like it wouldn't make any sense if it was Nathan.
Yeah, no proof of, no checking a proof of life of her. So
no, and just saying she didn't come to the door, so she doesn't want to go. That's not a no. Did you ever see the episode of Everyone Loves Raymond?
No.
When he makes this bet with Deborah that she has to get in the car on time and he's leaving. And she was like, oh, I have like a couple extra minutes. I'll like curl a couple pieces of my hair. Curling iron gets stuck in her hair and he leaves because she wasn't in the car. And again, instead of going and checking on her to see, he just leaves. And I'm like, here, go check on her. Because again, it could be the same thing. She could be finishing her hair or something. Like, she might not be ready at whatever time, like 6:30 when I come to get you, but she might be ready in 5 minutes.
Right.
How do you know that she isn't getting ready to go? And maybe even if she doesn't want to go, so go in, maybe a couple extra words that day, not that morning, because it's been a whole day. Maybe a couple extra words might encourage her, and she'll go, hang on, let me, take 20 minutes and go get ready. It's like, like that kind of thing. Like, what? So it honestly makes Lucas look terrible. Right. And I don't like it.
And then Nathan and Haley are, driving on the way to prom. But then, thinking that things are going to happen good for them, finally, that's when the car stops.
It's like Dumb and Dumber. But I love them.
Yeah, Nathan says, they have to stop saying that everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, they really should, because it's a TV show.
Especially this one.
Yeah.
And then Karen and Dan walk up to Whitey at the gym or hall, wherever they are. Because it seems to be like a kind of a distance from Tree Hill somewhere, because they're all driving there. But anyways.
Well, don't they all drive to the school?
Well, it just seems like it was kind of farther than that with how long it took them to get there.
But it was the school, because Lucas and Glenda go to the library, his locker.
It just seemed far. Yeah, because especially when Nathan and Haley's car breaks down, and Karen has to Deb has to take them. But yeah, so of course Whitey isn't happy when he sees Karen and Dan together.
Okay. Your prom was at some hall, right?
Yeah.
Why is theirs in a gym?
Maybe they couldn't afford the hall.
Tree Hill.
Yeah. Or the show couldn't afford a hall to film somewhere else.
With some rich people in
the
town.
Yeah, maybe because of Lucas's plot line with Glinda, they had to have it at the school, because then it would have them like breaking into the school to do this. So that wouldn't make sense.
That's what Brooke did.
Yeah. Yeah. So of course, like I said, Whitey is annoyed that Karen's with Dan.
Oh, even on Dawson's Creek, they had their prom on a boat.
Right. I don't know.
I'm just saying, and Dawson and Cape Side was not exactly rich, so
right. And Whitey's telling Dan, like, what are you doing? And Dan doesn't see this as a threat. He's just saying, like, making the rest of them look bad.
Well, yeah, basically, like, you already ruined her life once.
Yeah, he's not gonna have it happen again. Yeah.
I love Whitey.
And Dan's trying to, make, like, insult him about his tux, saying it's from like the 70s. But Whitey tells Dan that he'll be watching him, even though we don't really see Whitey again after this, I don't think. But yeah.
We do when Dan thinks it's Whitey that sent him that text.
Oh, right, yeah. So then, Nathan's trying to figure out what's wrong with the car. Can't figure it out. Because Lucas is the one that's more of the mechanic, and but some reason doesn't call him. But you know, and then I didn't like how
Wait,
Nathan.
doesn't Haley say, let's call Lucas, or no?
Oh yeah, she does.
I thought she did at some point.
Oh yeah, they had no signal. That was it. Okay, yeah. But I didn't like how Nathan was gonna leave Haley there and go to that
Pregnant.
store. Yeah, and alone. Yeah,
It's like, first of all, you don't leave a girl alone, but secondly, you don't leave her when she's pregnant.
yeah. Even though Haley left Brooke alone when she was high.
Yeah.
But yeah. So at least they went together. And then Rachel's looking at that picture of Brooke and Mouth on her phone. When you know her flight is called to board, and then down in Peyton's basement, that's where she is. You know, Derek has her there.
Yeah.
First time we even saw her basement, didn't know she had a basement until this point. But oh
I
yeah,
feel
because
like, oh, go ahead.
I would say Hillary said this wasn't even like the same house that Peyton's house was at. They had to film this at on stage. They made a basement on stage on set, so that was interesting. But yeah,
Well, probably because it took all week to film.
yeah,
It wasn't like a one day we need your
Mhm.
house sort of thing. It's like,
yeah,
we're going to be doing this all week long.
yeah. The only part that they filmed was the stairs part, but everything else was on set. Yeah,
If,
and then
no, but what I was going to say about Peyton's is like, we only see her house, like different parts of her house,
mhm,
when we need them.
yeah,
It's not like this is the house. It's like, because remember, we saw the backyard for the first time in season 3 when she was outside yelling at her dad.
mhm,
But beyond that, we never saw the outside, like
right,
the backyard. So it was like, we never thought that she really had one,
mhm,
because we always see her bedroom. And
yeah,
the first season, we saw the kitchen when
mhm,
Lucas came in. And then we
right,
saw the kitchen in season 4.
mhm.
But it's like, that was it.
Yeah, with Brooke's original house, we only saw her bedroom because that was the only, you know, room that they needed the whole time for her character.
Yep.
And then, yeah, so somehow Derek got a sedative to knock pain out. And then, that's when he reveals how he got out of jail. He was actually the one that called her as a, you know, faking as a detective, saying that they had him in custody. So,
And when he does the whole voice and everything, it's so creepy.
yeah. So that was far back, wasn't it? So he was playing this for a while.
Probably. I mean, I think he planned it once she pushed him out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to know, because we see him now. I still want to know how he's okay.
Right. Yeah. After falling. Yeah. Maybe that's why it took so long because he had to heal. But yeah.
Because I'm like, no, but he got up that moment and like ran off.
Yeah. Probably like adrenaline or something that got him up. He's
It's
probably
so,
feeling it once he stopped moving.
it's so creepy.
Yeah. And then that's when Lucas is sitting sadly alone at a table at prom when Brooke walks up. And Lucas apologizes about her dress because of what Peyton put on it. But she says it's okay. You know, she got most of it off. Now it just says ho, which I thought was kind of funny. And then, you know, she asks where Peyton is and he explains that he went to pick her up, but she wouldn't open the door. And this is when Brooke, you know, realizes that's not right, you know.
Right. Because she knows Peyton. That's the same. That's the thing. It's like, we always hear that Lucas knows Peyton so well.
Mm-hmm.
But clearly he doesn't if he doesn't go in.
Yeah. And then I do wonder what would have happened if Mouth had gone with Brooke too, you know, because it's his car that she took and he was ready to go, you know.
He
Like,
would have been with them.
I know, but like what would have happened? Because I can't see Mouth fighting is what I mean. Like, would he be the one to call 911 at least? Because nobody did that. So I'm just wondering like what his reaction would have been to all this craziness. But yeah, Brooke says that she'll be back by the time they vote for, you know, prom queen because she's going to most likely win.
I love how she just thinks she's going to be there.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't think anything bad is happening right now. She's just, I'll be back. And it's like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because before this, she like had no idea exactly how bad Psycho Derek was, you know, because she was never around him when this happened the other times. So
yeah, because she wasn't friends with her. She'd only make jokes about it, remember? And it was like,
yeah,
she seriously got attacked and you're going to make jokes?
Yeah, so this was like a hard lesson she had to learn too for herself.
Yeah, to see how bad and crazy he is
and
messed up.
Yeah. And then in the basement, Psycho Derek mentions, the hardest part was her betrayal, falling out the second story window and losing his photos. Of course, that was like the worst part for him.
Yeah,
He has
not
to start
not
over.
being injured himself, but like,
Yeah.
but just the pictures.
Yeah, because it probably took him, I think it probably, was it like a year maybe, I think, until he came into the picture?
Well, isn't it weird how he, like, okay, don't you feel like if that was like in real life, like, don't you think that they'd be like, if they're obsessed with somebody, they'd be like, and you hurt me. Like, they'd be upset about that too. Like, you actually physically hurt me.
Oh,
Like, instead, he's just worried about the pictures. I'm like, I feel like he would also say, why did you hurt me? Yeah, like that kind of thing. Like, I love you and you hurt me. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe that's what he meant by her betrayal. But yeah, so he already has his camera set up there to take new pictures.
Ew.
And yeah, I know. And the way he was taking them when she was screaming like that, yeah. And then Nathan thanks his mom for picking them up to take them to the prom.
And then he tells Haley how this isn't like, like what he thought prom would be. And she's like no, basically like our kind of like situation, like history and stuff, like this is normal.
Yeah. And that was funny too how Deb mentions a month ago she wouldn't have been able to drive them. She'd be like going on the sidewalk and everything. But she was the only one that laughs at it. And then
well that's because it's not funny.
Yeah. I mean, at least she can laugh at herself.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like to like laugh at it, like if it wasn't you,
right.
That would be harsh.
Yeah. And then Derek is looking through the disturbing pictures of him and Peyton when she's screaming for help. And while he's doing this, Peyton opens her phone and tries getting help, but the ringer goes off because Lucas is calling her at the worst possible moment. Like now he tries to get a hold of her.
I thought she called Lucas.
Well, I don't, because her phone started ringing and like out loud as if someone was calling her phone. So, and when he looked at it, it said Lucas was calling. So, I believe.
Because it was weird. Because I was like,
because I thought maybe she's trying to like text or not text, call 911, and that's when he called her. Maybe.
Yeah, I thought she was trying to get in touch with him.
Yeah.
Because he looks and he says, "Oh, Lucas."
Yeah, because he hangs it up, so Lucas gets her voicemail, and that's when he tells her that she's the one that he wants to be with tonight at the prom, and just to call him. So yeah, he was calling her. And then Rachel walks up to the prom entrance, but is stopped by Turner. And she asks what is he going to do, expel her, and he physically stops her from entering and tells her not to make him call the police. So she shouts, that there's a limo she has that's fully stocked with a minibar, and nobody wants to join her. So she tells Turner the school sucks and walks away. But then, Mal stops her and says he's going to go with her. And she asks about Brooke, and he says, if she were there, she'd do the same thing. That's what friends do. And then Rachel makes a comment at the last second to Turner that he should expect a call from her lawyer about the sexual harassment, still trying to get him in trouble. And, Turner laughs, telling people, she's kidding, because he's all nervous about that comment that everybody heard. That's when Dan tells him to get a drink.
Yeah, I didn't like Rachel for doing that.
Yeah.
Like just go along with it. You got expelled. They don't want you there. So walk away.
Yeah.
And if they're really your friends, then they'll walk out or go somewhere and hang out with you. But like, don't ruin everyone's life and day just because you ruined yours.
Right.
Like clearly she has not learned from her mistakes.
Right.
That's a problem. Everyone else usually learns from their mistakes. And that's where we see the growth, of the characters. But she not want to do that.
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the creator just wanted to make her look bad. And then Dan had somehow caught somebody with the flask, so he gave it to Turner, who went inside to see who got it. And that's when Dan picks up that card. So where did that card come from? was it in his pocket or?
I don't know, because that's what it seemed like it was with it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so he reads it and it says, does your date know you murdered her fiance? And then Derek,
And that's pretty specific.
yeah. And Psycho Derek, says it's time for their dance. And he creepily made a song from her podcast too.
That's creepy.
Mm-hmm. And then, talking about Lucas and just being more creepy as hell. And then, yeah, he just mentions what he wants to do. And then Lucas sends another text to Payne's phone and says he's so sorry. He wants her to talk to him. Prom sucks without her. And Derek is the one that, makes the reply saying, wait for me, XOXO, because I'm, running late. And then sends it and then crushes her phone on the floor with his shoe. And then Lucas, sees a text thinking that Payne's going to show up now. So he's definitely not going to try to go and see her.
Yeah. That's what I didn't like either. Like, okay, but here's the thing. She says that she's going to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then go and get her, so that you're
Right.
not driving home separately. Who wants to leave prom with their date separately?
Right.
So it's weird how he wouldn't go and get her.
Mm-hmm.
She said she's going. So go pick her up. Do the manly thing and go pick up your girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I can't see Peyton being the one to type XOXO with that winky face. That doesn't seem like something she would type.
I know.
So you
I
think
was
that Lucas would see that?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you because I know that you're really into what people text.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was going to ask you if that's what Peyton usually says back to people,
right,
XOXO with them.
Yeah, that should have been his second red flag after her not, seeing him at the door. Yeah, because there was one time too where I was on AIM and my nephew started typing under my username to my best friend at the time. And my best friend knew that wasn't me typing because my nephew was typing different than I would. So that's why I'm like, Lucas didn't catch that either, which made me mad. But yeah.
Well, and then too, if you were Lucas and
mm-hmm.
you had went out on without her and then you get that message, wouldn't you be like, man, I should have stayed?
Mm-hmm.
Because we could have went together and we could have talked and then had fun later. It's just weird how he's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not dawning on him I should have been there and not left.
Right.
At all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird. All these moves he's making is not a Lucas move at all.
Yeah. And then, he sees Glinda. He says that Payne's on her way, but he could use the company. And then Nathan tells Haley that, no one's using the DWI not I car, so they can use it tonight to, go home. And, he asks if she's ready to dance, and she is. But then the second she stands up, she realizes she can't, so she sits back down. And, Nathan says, wasn't she the one that said that, at some point you have to deal with the pain? And Nathan just says, or no, she said that. And he says he's an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets some punch, with the guy who spiked it, smiling while watching Nathan give it to Haley.
Yeah, and then she's like, oh, this ain't punch. Mm-hmm. And then, but then he goes and grabs the guy. And I'm like,
yeah, that was a damn move.
Yeah, and he's like, my wife's pregnant, you idiot. And I'm like, Nathan, whoa, first of all, Nathan, this is prom. Secondly, most people are not pregnant at prom.
Yeah.
What, Nate? When he says that my wife's pregnant, if I was a kid, I'd be like, well, whose fault's that? I am just a teenager at prom.
Mm-hmm.
You are married and have a kid. You're in your 20s and 30s. I am still a kid. That's not a prom move, is to be pregnant at prom.
Right.
So I was like, Nathan, do you hear what you're saying? My wife's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
That's not. Whose worry is that when they're spiking the punch that someone might be pregnant? Nobody.
Yeah, he was just mad the guy was watching him give Haley the punch and didn't warn him or anything. So I get why, but he didn't need to grab him like that. No,
I don't think that Nathan should have done any of that because, again, he's making it his situation. He's putting on others. You need to watch out for my wife. And it's no. They need to watch out for themselves, and you need to watch out for you too, apparently. Because, again, most people aren't married and have a kid or be pregnant at prom. Some might be, but most people aren't. So again, most people can drink at prom. So I didn't like Nathan in that either, because I'm like, calm down, really?
Right.
Again, who the heck? Who's in this situation? You are.
Yeah.
That's no one's fault but your own.
Yeah, and the guy just said it's prom again, and Nathan sees that Haley isn't mad, so he lets the guy go.
And she's like, "It's prom."
Yeah, dude, it's prom. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
And then there's a text saying, "I bet you wish nobody was watching you," sent to Dan's phone. So they're like closing in on him. And then Lucas and Glinda are sitting together when Glinda
isn't that when Whitey walks by, so he thinks it's Whitey?
I think that's a little bit later, like towards the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then Lucas and Glinda are sitting together when Glinda asks, if Lucas sees a guy across the way, basically just making up stories about everybody. And Lucas takes his turn, but then he sees Dan and Karen, and he points out that, she's his mom, and she's wondering if she should forgive the guy for being an ass for the last 17 years. And, Glinda figures out that the woman is his mom, and he says, yeah, and that's he says daddy. That Dan is his daddy, which is weird.
I know. I was like, not even dad or anything or father. It's daddy.
Yeah. And then Brooke goes to Peyton's, ringing and banging on the door, and she knows she's there because her car's in the driveway. So just figuring things out that Lucas should have, thought about.
Oh, I also didn't. I don't really hear too many guys say daddy.
Yeah.
It's all, like
kids. Yeah.
Like it's
little kids.
girls. Like girls will say daddy.
Yeah.
But like, not really. I've never really heard a guy say daddy.
Yeah, me neither.
I think even when they're 10, they say dad.
Yeah, I think maybe like when they're toddlers, maybe, but yeah, they grow out of it a lot quicker.
Yeah, I was like, what? Ew. And then the fact that you've never really called him dad, but then daddy, it's weird.
Yeah.
Again, the writers don't know him very well. That's what it's looking like.
Yeah. And then, so Brooke goes around to the back door and gets the spare key and walks inside the house. And Psycho Derek had seen her walk in from the basement window, of course. So then, Peyton or Brooke finds out that Payne had her curling iron still on upstairs, even though she was already done getting dressed and ready. But so she knows she's there, and she thinks she's trying to make it look like she's not, but doing a bad job at it. And then she sees the basement door is open.
Yeah, she goes to the basement. Like, here's the thing. What Peyton, I don't think has ever been to the basement.
Yeah, why would she be there now before prom?
Like, out of all of the places in the house, the basement would be the last place you would go.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't make sense that Brooke doesn't have like a moment of like, what? Like, okay, I need to really evaluate this for a second before I go down there. Like, oh, I don't know, text somebody. Like, wouldn't it have been very easy for her to like text Lucas or Mouth and say, call 911 Peyton's address? Like,
yeah, especially because it's so quiet. Like, there's no, she's not talking back to her or anything. So I would think that's suspicious.
Like, and here's the thing, she's not playing music, doing anything. So like for me, I would be like, I would text, because you don't want to call. Here's the thing, you don't want to call because then
talking out loud,
they would know that you're calling.
Yeah.
So that's why I would text, help, 911 Peyton's house. And I would send it, but then I would go, because then whoever, and I'd probably send it to a few people just so,
somebody gets it. Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody can call. And so then I would go, because then at least I know it's out there, and then I can go try to help. But like, I wouldn't just go down there. Like, well, I just, that's what I didn't like. I'm like, Brooke, you already knew something was wrong that she didn't go. And then
she stopped seeing the red flags here. Yeah.
And then here is like another thing of like, she, is in the basement. Like, come on, Brooke, like, gotta think a little.
Yeah, because like she probably could have like a washer and dryer down there and doing laundry, but then you would hear it. So like I said, it's completely silent. So that should make her think that something else is going on.
And you think the dress was in the basement?
Right. And then Psycho Derek, was waiting for Brooke behind the staircase when she went down.
Oh, and he was like, Brooke Davis. He goes, one kiss wasn't enough, so you came back for seconds.
Mm-hmm.
As he grabbed her.
Yeah. Yeah, I hated that.
So gross.
Yeah. And then, he starts strangling her, and, Peyton's freaking out because she can't do anything because she's still tied to the chair. And then the limo mouth asks what happened since he thought, Rachel was leaving tonight. And she says her flight got delayed by a few hours, but we learned later that was a lie. So she just wanted to crash prom. And yeah, I'm glad that she was there since Brooke left. So Mouth was kind of there alone, and probably thinking about Shelley.
Because Brooke was supposed to be his date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Rachel kind of ended up being his date.
Yeah.
Which I think works because in season 4, to like wrap up Rachel, Mouth was basically her
first friend.
Yeah. And so I think it wraps up because remember, it used to always be Mouth and Brooke. But then season 3 and 4, it became Mouth and Rachel. Mm-hmm. And I think it kind of summed up their friendship in here.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like that they had that closure because when characters leave and like their close friend was, still there, they didn't really have a lot of closure. Yeah. I hate when that happens on shows. They just never have that closure for friendships when somebody leaves.
Yeah. They just disappear.
Mm-hmm. And then Mouth's describing Shelley, like thinking about every little part of her, body. And that's when Rachel realizes that he slept with her and, tells Mouth nice work. And, Mouth says, yeah, and he's never going to see her again. Yeah. So I was kind of surprised she didn't, like Shelley disappeared too. Like she didn't show up to prom or anything, just really she wasn't at graduation. She just completely disappeared from the show.
They didn't want to pay her.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But it was weird. Like you would think that they'd write it in of like where she's at.
Yeah. Yeah. So then Mouse says, for them not to talk about Shelley. And what does she want to do? And she said she wanted to deflower him, but she guesses she's too late for that. And he says
that was weird.
Yeah. And he just says he wants to get Shelley back. So talking about her again. And then, Rachel says Shelley's nuts. And this is coming from a girl who has seen a lot of nuts. So just making jokes. And then Mouth says that Shelley made him feel dangerous. And that's why he liked, like he was more than himself. And Rachel says, to just quit talking about Shelley. And Mouth thinks he's boring Rachel. But Rachel says that, he's making her jealous, which is surprising.
Weird.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because, Mouth has liked Brooke and Rachel as more than a friend. And then they kind of rub it in his face later on, acting like they're interested in him and stuff like that.
Yeah, like that night that he was at Rachel's because she invited him over to watch a movie or something.
Yeah. And then Glenda asks Lucas, when did she get to read another chapter of his book? Or, was that just a strategy to get her hooked and leave her hanging? So he says, he's stuck, writer's block, about the day his Uncle Keith died. And, Glenda says that she knows it's hard to revisit that day, but telling the truth could help a lot of people, maybe even him. And then Glenda tells him to go through the things he does remember, and maybe that will help. And then Psycho Derek ties up Brooke, just like Peyton. And, Brooke's, calling him names and everything before her mouth's tied up. And, he's just making, creepy comments about her. And then he tells Peyton that no one's going to hear her, so, they could scream all they want, but no one's going to help them. He even turns the music louder because he brought a boombox or stereo down there.
Well, I think he knew that Peyton would be loud.
Yeah. And then it's probably her stereo, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure it is because, he's like investigated her whole dang house.
Yeah. And then Dan gets another text saying, still watching you. And he looks around. That's when he sees Whitey and he goes to follow him. And then Haley tells Nathan that this is the weirdest prom ever. No Peyton, Brooke, Lucas, or Mouth. And Nathan even adds, or Rachel. So
and then she goes, good prom.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of weird too. Like they weren't concerned either that none of their friends were there,
Right.
Yeah. So nobody was just thinking about anybody else.
Well, especially Brooke and Lucas, because like I'm sure Haley knows that Lucas wanted to go to prom. And Brooke loves prom, like she loves dances and stuff. So you would think that those two would at least be there. Maybe not Peyton, but at least those two.
Yeah. Yeah, I would at least have Nathan go and try to find somebody since Haley can't really walk too much. But yeah. And then that's when Turner tells Nathan he has to drive a student home with, the DWI car. Because, of course, it has to be the one guy that was spiked the punch. Because he's passed on some chairs.
Yeah, because now it's like, oh, look, it's coming back around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I felt bad for that. Because even though they weren't really having too much fun because nobody else was there, and then they had to, drive this guy home. And then that's when Peyton and Brooke are fighting, because Brooke didn't tell anybody she was going over there. And, Brooke saying she knew something was wrong. And at least she showed up.
Yeah, because they've been talking about prom since they were 8. Okay,
yeah,
I thought they were friends at 9 or 10.
Yeah, I think it was 9, yeah.
But 8?
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine even thinking about prom that young either.
But I didn't know they were friends at 8.
Right.
Because that means they've been friends now for 10 years?
10 years, yeah.
I thought they have only been friends for like 7.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This is just weird because I was like, 8?
Yeah,
you weren't friends when you were 8 because they bonded when she was 9, I thought.
Yeah, when her mom died.
Her mom died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that threw me off.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been cute too if we saw them when they were younger, when they first met, but yeah.
Well, remember how we saw tons of scenes of like little Dawson and little Joey.
Mm-hmm.
Like it would have been cute to see little Peyton and little Brooke.
Yeah.
To re-bond them together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like they're remembering that memory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now here they're calling each other names, and then I didn't like the line that Payne says that she hopes he kills Brooke first.
Why?
I just thought it was mean, because of the situation they're in, and then like I hope he kills you first, like because I mean Brooke did show up, she didn't have to, but yeah.
I think it was them. I think it was when she said that it was to also help.
With the plan.
Yes, because they need to act like they hate each other in order to save themselves.
Yeah, that could have been it too.
Because I think that's what it was. I think that's why she said it. Because obviously she doesn't want Brooke to go first or second or ever. Yeah. So I think she, she would rather die first, 100%. So I think that was her thing was, I hope you die first. Like just because she wants Derek to believe that that's how she feels.
Yeah, I just thought she didn't come up with that plan until Psycho Derek had the knife to Brooke's throat. So I didn't think that was a part when she thought of it. But so that's when she switches and tells him that if he really loves her, she would, he would let her do it.
Yep.
And this is so of course he's, hesitating about giving her the knife and untying her and everything. And
I'm surprised he even let her. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
What psychopath
mm-hmm.
would allow them to do that?
Right. You think that with the way he is that he would know that she was lying or something, but yeah.
Yeah, because you really think that she is just going to now, like, you just tied her up and tried to kill her. Like, you think, and her, old best friend. Like, you really think that, you're going to, or that she's just going to all of a sudden go on your side?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he really wasn't thinking at all, was he? Because that'd be my thing is, hell no. Like, you're going to try to kill me.
Yeah, I think the part that made him believe that she was telling the truth was when she called him baby. So that was like enough to move the knife away from Brooke's neck,
Yeah, that wouldn't be for, I don't know, I guess, because I'm actually thinking straight, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, how did he, like, I don't understand. Like, he planned this whole thing. He's really going to just go easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because even after he unties Payne, he tells her that she better not be lying, and then she said she's not calling him baby again. She promises, so like that was the way in.
Yeah, until she stabs him.
Yeah, and then Payne's acting like she's gonna hurt Brooke by slapping her and everything, and then slaps her again even harder. And Payne tells Derek, or Psycho Derek, to give her the knife. I'm kind of surprised they went this long without knowing his real name too. But anyways, because if you think that he would want Peyton to call him by his real name, not the fake name that he took. But anyways, yeah. So Payne takes the knife and she points it out. Saying like, because he's like saying you're lying, and she's like, well, you're a liar too because you lied about being my brother. and everything. And all he had to do was ask, and she kisses him. Then, that was enough to give her the knife. And, she says that when she's finished with Brooke, to go upstairs and takes a knife from him. And that's when, well, he gives her instructions too, which was creepy. But Payne, says to Brooke, like, all the times you said I was a backstabbing bitch, you actually had no idea how right you were. And that's when she acts like she's gonna stab Brooke, but then turns and stabs him in the chest instead.
I love that.
Yeah, but I'm surprised that was all she did. Like, I would do it at least a few times, not just do
Me
it once.
too. Oh
Yeah,
my
leave it
God.
alone. Yeah, so I think that was the fault too that she made. But
well, remember, okay, like, at the end when she is like, I need 5 minutes with him.
Yeah.
Why didn't she do that 5 minutes right here and now?
Yeah.
Make sure he's gone.
Like, down. Yeah.
Well, I didn't really want to say dead, but
yeah, that's what I said, down. Yeah, and then get Brooke here,
But I'm like, that would be me. Of like everything that he has done to you, leading up to it, that night, everything. I would make sure he is dead. That's just what I would do. I wouldn't, because think about it. Last time you pushed him out a window and he ran.
Right.
You don't think that he's gonna, I don't know, have a little stab and be okay? Like,
right.
I would make sure he is. Like, I just, because again, why make that same mistake twice? Because you already have a police report of it. So, like, obviously the police know about this. So they're gonna, I would hope, be on your side if you stab them 100 times.
Yeah.
Because then you could be like, listen, I was just trying to make sure he was gone.
Yeah.
And not run away.
Yeah, so Payne's untying Brooke, saying she's sorry for slapping her. And that's when Brooke tells her that Psycho Derek's moving and tells her to get out of there, but Payne says she's not leaving her.
Again, stab him. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. And then, he says that he changes his mind. He'll kill Payne first. And that's when he takes a knife out of his chest. You think that would have made him start bleeding out, and keep him down, or at least slow him down, but it didn't for some reason.
Well, it's probably the adrenaline that you were talking about.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Well, think about it. He fell out of a 2-story window. You think that, and he got up fine. So you think that he, guess what, here?
And I was surprised too, first watching this, that when Peyton runs up the stairs, like, Psycho Derek didn't just like kill Brooke and then follow Peyton, he just was so focused on Peyton, he just went past Brooke, luckily for her,
Well, what I didn't understand was when she went up, why didn't he like grab her?
Right.
Like, think about it. He could have like grabbed her, like knocked her down the stairs. And like, it was just weird how he didn't like physically harm her on the steps.
And then while this is happening, Lucas takes Glinda to a spot in the library where him and Peyton hid during the shooting. And, he's saying that that's when she told him she loves him, and he figured it was because she lost a lot of blood. But on some level, he knew it was true, which, was kind of bad because, he was saying, like, it meant nothing, at least to him, but he thought it actually meant something to her, but acted like it didn't.
And, well, remember, he kept teasing her and stuff, and, like, of course it meant something to her. She was dying. She wanted her love of her life to know. Even if he's with somebody else.
Right. And he didn't like want to tell Brooke because it hurt her feelings. Yeah. And then Glinda asks him why he thinks he's having trouble about writing that day. And he says he blocks things out because he's afraid to face the truth because it could hurt other people he loves. And then the guy, Nathan and Haley are taken home, leans toward the front and puts his arm around them, mentioning to Nathan, he's heard about him and Brooke, and
so
puts his hand up to high five.
Yeah, and he's like, so apparently guys have like an open marriage. And
yeah, so that's when, Nathan slams the brake and tells him to get out, which is funny.
And then Haley goes, ew.
Yeah. And then the guy's like, it's a mile away, from my house. And, then he's like acting all cool about it and just says he'll see them Monday. Yeah, but it would have been bad if something did happen to him during that mile walk home. And
yeah, because Mr. Turner would have been like, I sent him home with you.
Yeah.
You were supposed to make sure he got home because he was wasted.
Yeah, and that's part of the program that Brooke did too, so that would look bad on her part too.
Yeah, because like it's supposed to be trusted drivers.
Yeah, like I get he said that inappropriate thing, but I just would have told him to shut up, or else, though we can't make him walk home. I don't know, like find him a bus or something maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nathan asks if she still wants to be a teenager, and Haley says, she used to dream about how wonderful senior prom would be, the last party with all their friends before they graduate, and it's nothing like she predicted. And Nathan tells her she has to be careful about her predictions, and then takes off again, with Haley mentioning the school's the other way around, so where are they going? And Nathan says it's a surprise. And that's when we go back to the basement, or Peyton's house, because Peyton went up to her room, and he's like, I can break the door down, and that's when he finds it's unlocked, because she's, waiting for him, because the lights are off and everything, and he, so she can, attack him, ambush him, and tases him in the neck like he did to Lucas, and she tells him she's not going to run this time. And she has her boxer gloves on now. And it's not real boxing gloves. It's the little, I don't know how to explain it, but the hand ones are more to me, they're gym gloves, but so I can't really see how they can do much damage. But
yeah. Then she told him that she told him get up and he's like, oh, you've been training. And she's like, that's right, with my real brother. He taught me this.
Yeah.
And punches him.
Yeah. And then, tries to keep attacking him, but he, blocks her hit and grabs her arm, and then headbutts her into the bed and everything.
I know. I was like, really, Peyton? Calm down on the things you're saying to him.
Yeah, and then it gets really bad by the time Brooke comes in. And so she had a hammer, right? Or a small sledgehammer or something like that. But she hit him in between his shoulder blades and not hit the back of his head.
Yeah.
So that was my thing again. These girls are not good at deciding what to do to keep him down. They're just doing the least damage they could do, basically. She could have ended it right there with, the back of his head, but no, she just hit him on the back. So of course he's going to still be able to fight and everything. And then, so it's basically back and forth with the girls. And, Brooke's like, what do I do? Because she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't fight, so Payne's telling her what to do. And then,
then they talk about the pyramid at camp.
Yeah, because they ended up in the hallway.
To do that move. And so he did, or they did.
Yeah, and he trips over Brooke. Goes on the stairs.
Yeah. And then Brooke goes, Peyton, be careful. He's going to lunge. They always lunge.
Yeah.
And then, because they're walking down the steps now to make sure he's gone. And then that's when Brooke says, I'm going to call 911.
Now,
why didn't you try to do something before?
Yeah, I would have done it after I got myself untied and went upstairs. Yeah,
because you're in the basement and he's still upstairs.
Yeah. So,
and then that's when Peyton says, "Give me 5 minutes with him."
Yeah, because she finally knocked him out by kicking him in the face. Finally.
Then she continues to kick him.
Yeah, which was deserved. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Is her 5 minutes should have been in the basement.
Yeah. And the next scene, Psycho Derek is being wheeled into an ambulance, and Payne and Brooke are on the front steps, wrapped in a blanket together. And, Brooke mentions to Payne that she was right earlier. All those things she said about her mom, was wrong. And Payne says, they both said a lot of things today, and if she hadn't come over, she would be bitching about her to both of her moms in person.
And then she said, Brooke said, I guess now it's holes over psychos.
Yeah.
I think that's a little too soon.
Yeah. But it was a sweet moment when they were resting their heads on each other's shoulder and head. And then Brooke says, where do they go from here? And she says, prom. After all that.
Here's my other thing. It's been how long since Peyton said she was going to be there to Lucas? And he never once went over there to make sure she's okay.
Yeah, I think it's at least a good hour or something. It seems
because think about it. If you're sending a text, you're probably going to be 20 minutes, you would think. So after a half hour, wouldn't you be like, okay, I'm going to go make sure she's okay?
Yeah.
And the fact that he didn't, I'm like, here the cops are, which probably took a while to get there. And, and that they're sitting on the steps. And I'm like, why wouldn't he be there? Even at the end of them wheeling him out. It's weird how he was never on scene.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
Not once. Because I could see him coming at the end maybe of you know, you weren't there. And also, he never saw Brooke again. Like, I would have been like, okay, the fact that you two aren't here is weird. So, like, I need to go. It's weird.
Right. Yeah.
And so I could see him showing up at the end of like, then he would know, okay, he's putting it all together, what's happened. But he never showed up on scene. Weird.
No. Yeah, and of course, you know, notifying Larry about all this was just not in the cards.
Nope.
Yeah, for some reason. And then
I don't.
so
The writers don't care about Larry at all.
So at the airport, you know, Rachel tells Mouth that she lied about her flight being delayed and she just wasn't ready to go because she wanted them to have their last dance. So they do in the airport, which was sweet. And Rachel tells him he's going to break a lot of hearts, you know, after this in college and stuff. And then we segue to Karen and Dan dancing at the prom. And, you know, Dan asks if this beats their prom, and she thinks about it, saying, like, you know, their theme was every rose has its thorn. And Dan mentions that that was also the night he told her that he was leaving to take the basketball scholarship. So I don't know why he would bring that up, but, you know, he tells her for the past 17 years he's been pretending that that was the right choice. And she says she's been pretending for the last 17 years that choice didn't break her heart. And then he asks if it's impossible for her to have feelings for him again, and she says no, it's not. So I didn't like that.
Neither. I was like,
yeah.
But again, like, take the fact that you don't know that he killed Keith.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't know that. All the crap he has done to
it's so bad enough.
Like, here's the thing. You can say all you want to me, but once you involve my kid, that's the end.
Yeah.
So all the hateful things he has done and said to Lucas would be the end for me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, have you met our kid? No. There's no way I will ever love you again. I don't know. I guess it's just me thinking. I don't know if that's how you would think, but
no, yeah, I would, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't care if I ever loved you. That was stupid me. Like, pastime. Like, the me now would know it would never love you again. So I didn't like that she said that either, because I was like, yes, does she know he killed Keith? No. But he has been horrible to Lucas. Yes, he's also been horrible to her. But again, I think a lot of people would take on the pain of their kid. So again, it's like, you can do what you want to me, but my kid is off limits.
Right.
So I didn't like that, because again, she's not protecting her son. And think about it, everything Lucas has done. You know, he's cried on Karen's shoulder. She's seen what he has done to Lucas. And yet she's going to say it's not impossible. So I didn't like that either, because basically you're disregarding everything your son has felt about this person. Because again, it's the same thing like when you have kids. If a kid is picking on your kid, you're going to hate that kid too. You know, if they come home crying, you know what? We hate them.
Right.
It's just like that. So if somebody's doing that to your kid, you hate them.
Yep.
Especially if it's their father. So yeah, I didn't like that either.
Yeah. So then Nathan takes Haley to the rooftop of Karen's cafe about the predictions. And he says that he actually made his own.
So Karen doesn't have an alarm system. I guess Haley would know it. So
yeah. And then he takes out the tin box and he gives her the paper, and she reads that, saying that Haley and I will be together again by graduation.
Yeah, and then she said, did you really believe that? He said he was in a dark place, but he never stopped believing in them. Do you remember when he told her on the beach that night that she needs to think of something else besides them, because he doesn't know if or when he'll ever be ready for them?
Right, yeah.
That to me, like that speech, like right there, that sentence was like over.
Yeah.
So what do you mean you've never stopped believing in that, like in you two?
Right. Yeah, as if he never said that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, again, they're rewriting Nathan and Haley's history. Because because we said that at the end of season 3, like all the stuff he would say, it's like you believed something different. We saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you didn't say those words, then we would agree, but you've said these things.
Right. Yeah, but then they did have the sweet moment of her being lifted up by him because she can't really dance on her legs. So they kind of chose her around, which probably didn't last long, but it was still sweet. And then Mouth and Rachel are still slow dancing in the airport when it's announced that her flight's about to take off. So, he says this is probably goodbye, but he's glad that she came back tonight. And then she kisses his cheek. And then last second, she asks Mouth if he wants to go with her. And he says he'd miss his finals and graduation if he went. And Rachel says it's dangerous, just like Shelly, what Shelly used to say. So,
I didn't like Rachel trying to get him to go, though.
Yeah.
Like,
because you can't miss, your last couple moments of high school like that.
Well, you can't miss your finals because you won't get your diploma.
Yeah.
Which is everything he has worked hard for his whole life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Okay, here's the thing. Why couldn't she say it? Because there's a couple weeks left of school. Why couldn't she have said, in a couple weeks, once you graduate, come and find me?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Like, I'll send you a plane ticket. Like, it just, I didn't like that she was like, let's do it right now. Like, no.
Yeah, it just seemed like it was a spontaneous thing that they were showing, like, as if they're gonna, I don't know, end up as a couple or something, but
run off together.
Yeah, like Mouth somehow has the same glasses that he wore for his school assignment with Shelly and puts them on. That's when he says he's going with her because, he likes feeling dangerous. And if there's a girl that tells him that, he's going to follow her, apparently. And then Dan calls the number that was sending him texts to find the ringing coming from a phone in the same hallway he killed Keith in because it's on the floor. And we see the flashback of that again. And then Lucas walks into the hallway, making Dan think that he's the one who sent the text. He tells him he lost his phone, holding it up to him, but Lucas says that's not his. And, he asks where his mom is. And Dan asks, why Lucas is there. And he just says he's feeling like he's just trying to tell him something. And Dan says that they already had this conversation. Keith's dead. He's not coming back. He has to open his eyes. So, of course, that was the exact words that Keith had said to Lucas when he was in a coma at the start of the day.
And it's all coming back to him.
Mm-hmm. And because it was just something, because at the start of the day, Dan was telling Lucas, like, he wasn't wrong for thinking Jimmy didn't kill Keith. And now after the text, he's turning around telling him to, just drop it.
Well, because he thinks that Lucas is onto him. So he's like,
right, yeah.
I got to cover my tracks. So basically, just stop and go live your life.
Right. So, Lucas remembers when Keith said, open your eyes, and then shooting the flashback with Keith and Jimmy. That's when Lucas remembers seeing eyes through the blinds from the other side of the hall into a classroom. And then Payne and Brooke finally get to prom, messed up dresses and all.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Remember how they rewrote Nathan in the car accident?
Yeah.
With Cooper and all that. And all of a sudden he saw Keith, remember? Isn't it like do you actually believe that Lucas saw Abby?
Yeah, no, I thought about that because even traumatic events, I don't think unless you went to actual therapy, maybe you could figure something out like that. But I feel like naturally you couldn't unlock something like that. I don't know.
But do you actually think he saw Abby?
Maybe he could have for a quick second, but not enough for his memory to remember that. I don't know.
Like exactly who she is.
Yeah. Especially that too. Maybe you could tell it was a girl, but not what, exactly who, but yeah.
It's hard because he was looking at Keith and Jimmy.
Yeah.
He wasn't looking at
the blinds,
anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like, I don't believe that he saw Abby. I think this is a rewrite, just like Nathan seeing Keith and not Cooper in the water. I think it's a rewrite.
Yeah, they just had to make something happen that Lucas could figure out who actually killed Keith. Yeah.
Because I knew this was coming. So when we watched that episode, I was looking at Lucas and he was looking at Keith and Jimmy. So I'm like, no way would he be seeing Abby.
Right. Yeah. That's why. Yeah, that's why I wish she'd talk to Haley and Nathan about this, because maybe they could mention we were in the room with these people, but then Abby left early. So maybe then he would think that there's a possibility then she saw the shooting if she was still hiding in the school. So yeah, maybe something like that could have triggered his memory. But yeah.
He didn't see anyone because he was looking at these two, but the fact that maybe Abby left early, so maybe she saw. Right. I just don't believe that he saw, because when I was watching that episode, he was looking at just what was going on in the hallway. He wasn't looking at the blinds
Right.
at all. So when this comes back, I'm like, no. But again, we did a rewrite of a different situation, so we're going to do the same thing here.
Yep.
But I agree with you. It should have been rewritten that way, of like him, if he truly wants to investigate, then it should have been him going to find who was the last one to see Jimmy.
Yeah. And then just then the prom queen is announced by Bevan, which is Brooke. And then that's when Abby walks past Dan, giving him a look, playing slow motion. But he doesn't really notice her because he doesn't know her. And then back in the hall, Lucas focuses on the memory of the eyes and the blinds when he realizes it's Abby who saw everything that day. So, yeah. So, what was your high and low? Probably obvious, but you know what I mean.
First of all, I'm surprised that Brooke and Peyton even showed up to prom after all that.
Yeah, I would not. Because you think they'd be like feeling sore too and everything from the fighting, and just kind of like want to unwind somewhere. And like I would like change too, like because like I feel like for me like the dresses would be ruined. Like I would not want anything to do with my prom dress anymore after that. So
first of all, did you notice that Peyton's prom dress only had a little blood stain right on her part of her dress? Like if you went through a fight and it was bloody and gruesome like that, like I would think that your dress would be like half blood. Like
yeah, and then Brooke was tased too by Psycho Derek, so she should be feeling that too. Yeah. They just didn't really act like they went through so much physical, stress.
And yeah, I mean, and the fact that she kept kicking and kicking him, your leg would be sore.
Yeah.
I was just like, Peyton should have had way more blood on her than she did.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. She was standing and basically, the bottom of your dress be bloody?
Yeah.
It was weird how like she wasn't bloody at all, and except for right there. And they can just like what again? I'd be changing too. First of all, I'd want out of that dress that reminds me of them.
Yeah.
And secondly, I would think that this whole night, like all these that happened, would have taken the whole prom time.
Yeah. And just because at least they ended up making it the last second for a prom, and then they didn't ever even mention a prom king either. So that was weird, but yeah, because
it was probably Nathan.
Yeah.
I just didn't like how that whole thing. Like, why would you show back? I don't understand.
I guess maybe just taking back the night that they were supposed to have in a way at the end. But yeah, I just like physically and mentally I wouldn't be able to do it.
But everybody would be staring at you.
Yeah, that too. Like ask like what happened, because you can tell they went through something.
Well, and they can tell that the two of them have not been at prom. So it just doesn't make any sense either. Like this whole popular group was never at prom.
Yeah, because if I was Bevan and like I see that Brooke won, I'd be like, okay, where is she? Like I'd probably like tell her beforehand and try to find her, but Bevan didn't. So
well, that's Bevan. Well, and where was Skills and stuff?
Yeah, the other guys, River Court guys weren't even there, just Mouth, yeah.
Because last episode was the end of, or the beginning of prom, remember? And they all walked in together.
Yep, and then disappeared, yep.
Because remember, like Fergie and Junk were like, don't stand too close to me. And but now it's like they were never there.
Yeah, I guess the writers didn't really see them having anything going on. I don't know, like they should have been included, but
because why wouldn't Skills be hanging out with Nathan and Haley?
Yeah,
like at
or
least
Lucas.
Like at least yeah, but he has a date, Bevan, so like it would be like couples. So like you would think that Nathan and Haley would at least be hanging out with Skills and Bevan, because like Lucas disappeared. So like it doesn't make any sense that they all walk in together and then
all walk out separately. Yeah.
They don't even know that their friends are gone.
Yeah.
What? That's weird.
Yeah, like I said, nobody was concerned for anybody else. Yeah.
So I'd say the writing is off on this episode. But I would say that my high was obviously Brooke and Peyton getting out of there alive.
Yeah.
And for fighting for their lives.
And obviously fighting for each other.
And Brooke actually being there for her and showing up.
Yeah.
And my low was Lucas not, like the writing off on Lucas, just him not being concerned at all that she wasn't going to be ready and go.
Right. Yeah.
And not go back in. I don't like it.
No. Yeah.
So I would say that's my lowest. Well, and obviously the major low was obviously Derek coming back to do that to Brooke or to Peyton and then to Brooke.
Yeah.
But obviously my other low is Lucas.
Right. Yeah. So mine are the exact same too. Yeah.
I will say another high was Mouth and Rachel bonding again. Like we got to see their friendship kind of come full circle, I would say.
Yeah.
What would you rate it?
I mean, it was a good episode if you don't think too much about the writing. Like,
if you actually just watch it as just a person watching.
Yeah, like an 8.5. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say 9. Like again, if you take out the bad writing, sorry writers, but think a little harder.
Yeah.
So I would say a 9 if you take out the bad writing on the characters. Because overall, if you think about it, it was a good story.
Yeah.
For the episode, but if you just take out the things that weren't character, what you would call it, like what the characters would do.
Yeah, in character, yeah.
Yeah, so if you take that part out, it was actually good, and you did want to see what was going to happen when it came to Brooke and Peyton and all of that, and the whole Derek, how they were going to get out. Like,
yeah,
it was all good, I would say. And obviously Nathan and Haley in the end, him carrying her. I still don't know how he's carrying her, almost 9 months pregnant, but okay.
Yeah, because Skills had trouble when she was a little bit less pregnant, yeah.
I'm like, you're just carrying her, okay. Yeah. But again, it was all cute. And I was happy that Deb kind of redeemed herself because she's been, not there for Nathan, so she actually got to be there. So I liked all that. So but yeah, that's what I give it a 9.
Yeah, because at least she was, a part of his prom night, and Dan never even saw Nathan. So
yep, not once. But Nathan was probably avoiding him.
Yeah.
And then and 2, Karen never thought, where's Peyton?
Right. Or Lucas when he took off in the hall with Glinda.
Yeah, like, where's my son?
And where's his friends? Yeah, she's supposed to be a chaperone.
She ain't chaperoning anything.
Yeah, Whitey too. Like, he kind of disappeared in Turner. Nobody was checking on the kids.
Yeah, but for Karen, like, that's your son.
Yeah.
And he's dating Peyton. Like, where is, like, huh?
Yeah, because the episode before this, she wanted to even have a dance with Lucas, but that never happened. So.
Yeah, because it was just, like, I get why Dan wouldn't care. But the fact that Karen wouldn't,
right,
is a little odd. But anyway, so I think that our best and worst is probably all the same.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, my worst is obviously Psycho Derek, and I believe his real name is Ian because I was listening to the Drama Queens and they mentioned the name, so I'm pretty sure that's his name.
Yeah, I think
a lot later.
Yeah, I think we find out maybe at the end of the season.
Yeah, which like I said, I don't know why it took so long for them to say his real name, because now that we know the real Derek, it just feels wrong calling him Derek. That's why I keep calling him Psycho. Yeah, Psycho Derek. So
I think everybody does, because it's like there's good Derek and then there's Psycho Derek.
Yeah. And then the best was Brooke, because at least she realized something was wrong with Peyton while everybody else didn't. So
that's why, I agree. That's why I said I think they're going to be the same today.
Yeah.
I mean, how can they not be?
Right.
The person that went in to save Peyton has to be the best, and then the person that's doing it to Peyton has to be the worst.
Yeah.
And then what's next episode?
Episode 17, It Gets Worse at Night, which is great after this episode.
But I feel like this episode
was the
should have
worst
been.
already.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, how can it get worse
Mm-hmm.
from here? I
Yeah.
mean, unless all of a sudden he came out of the hospital like
Mm-hmm.
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like, unless Psycho Derek comes back next episode, I don't know how it can get much worse
Right. Yeah.
from this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, I can't wait to watch that one.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea what happens after that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks for listening.
Yeah, Bo, see you later.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.